What's going on, guys? It's Zach back at it again with another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about a subject that one of my subscribers asked me to talk about, and that's accidental manifestations and how can we understand and how can we account for things that we didn't necessarily want to manifest or we didn't mean to manifest, but that have manifested. So first things first, this is I'm going to start out with a philosophy, right? That most YouTubers in this space don't really utilize, they don't really leverage, and I think it's really important in understanding these concepts. And that's really that you're manifesting everything. Every single thing in your environment, every single thing about your being, about the people that you are surrounding yourself with, everything is being manifested by you, right? So even me, coming to you right now through this video, you manifested this video. You manifested me coming forth in my being to give you this information to help you further evolve in your personal journey. So with that in mind, when we consider things that we didn't really necessarily mean to manifest, that we accidentally manifested, when it comes to these kinds of things, it's really up to us to go into our being and reflect on what is it about myself, right? What is it about my thought processes, my regular feelings, really just my regular thoughts and feelings that help to bring this thing forth. And in doing this kind of reflective exercise, we get much better at understanding ourselves and understanding what's brought forward. Say, for example, like you win free food, right? You didn't really mean to manifest that free food, yet you did. You won free food. Congratulations. Well, you should go into your inner being and kind of figure out what is it about like food? What is it about like winning food, or what is it about, getting lucky and like winning something without really any other effort that is, quintessential to your being or that like resonates with you. I know this is a really off color example, but all of that I'm saying is that literally everything, literally anything that you manifest, some way, somehow is related to your inner being. So your commute that you make to work every day, that's manifested by you and by your expectations of what it means to make money, how a person has to make money, and what kinds of efforts that they have to put in to make that money. What kind of lifestyle do they have to live? So for example, if your drive to work every day is extremely boring and you rue that drive every single day, you're like, God damn it, I hate getting in this stupid car, I hate driving on this stupid highway, and I hate showing up at this stupid workplace. It's part of what you perceive the necessary parts of, financial freedom to be. You're some way, somehow you believe that you have to trade these elements of your, time, your stress, your comfort, all of these things you have to trade for this outcome of financial security. Same thing with, maybe a relationship. Money and relationships are like the two biggest issues, so I'm always going to use those as references, but maybe a relationship, right? You think that it has to be a challenge, it has to be a struggle in order to kind of like maintain this partnership and this love, right? And so that's how your relationships are going to turn out. Maybe your current relationship is full of all of this tension and like you just find yourself like trying so hard and always in this state of resistance. Well, something within you believes that those are the necessary components to create that relationship. And so to tie it back to the original point, right? When the person that asked me this question, they're asking, what about things that I don't mean to manifest? Well, the thing is, your subconscious mind is responsible for all of this manifestation. You have your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind, in congruence with the superconscious mind, and I'll make a video about all this stuff at another point, but just try to look at it as though your subconscious mind is almost like God. It's almost like the computer that has all of these understandings of the way things need to be, that is just creating on its own. It's creating naturally. Like it's just like a river, like a waterfall. It's not, you can throw things into the waterfall. You can try to block the waterfall, but you're never going to stop the waterfall. It's just going to keep going. And so your subconscious mind is responsible for 100% of everything that's going on. And if you can only be conscious of like 1 to 4% of everything that's going on, that means there's literally more than 95% usually of unconscious creation that's going on. And so it's not that you accidentally manifested things. It's that is part of what is in escrow of your manifestation flow, the flows of your manifestations that you're just not really conscious of. And so what you have to do is go in, and when those things manifest, go in and reflect on those things. There's never any bad situation, right? There's never anything that's like inherently bad unless you give it meaning that way. And so what I highly recommend that you guys do is go in, and all these things that manifest that you don't mean to manifest, that maybe they're good, maybe they're bad, go in and recognize, what is it about my inner being that is creating this thing? And especially things that are created over and over and over again. I remember now actually that this subscriber asked about things that tend to happen over and over and over. Well, those things that happen on a recurring basis that, you don't mean to make happen, those are probably the best examples of data that you can go in and analyze and say, hey, what is it about this situation that is being created over and over again? What is it about my inner being that is creating this on such a regular basis? And you can leverage that data to say, okay, well, if it's good, here's what I'm going to optimize. Maybe people just tend to give me like free cups of coffee on a regular basis. This is like the Joseph Ally example. Maybe people tend to give me free cups of coffee on a very regular basis, right? And so there's something about me that just knows, like, coffee is something that comes to me easily, right? It's just something that naturally, I don't know, it's like I have this connection to coffee that I know, like, there's an abundance of coffee, right? I can go out and buy it, sometimes just in my house, sometimes people just give it to me. So much coffee. Love coffee. Abundant and coffee. For me, actually, food is one of those things. Like, people just tend to like give me food. Like, it seems like every time I go somewhere, like, I'm given food. And I'm a vegan, you guys, so it's like there's this issue that a lot of food I can't eat because it has animal products in it. Yet somehow people are, even if I don't know people, like, they're giving me food that I'm able to eat that is in alignment with my vegan values that I can consume, that I'm comfortable consuming. And guys, this analyzation, this self-analysis doesn't have to be difficult. For me with the food, it's as simple as I feel an abundance of, there's an abundance of food in the world. I have this great connection to enjoying food, and I know that there's always going to be food available to me. And it's a faith. It's like a belief. It's like, it's not something I have to think hard about. It's already in my subconscious mind. It's programmed in there to know that this is just like breathing, or it's just like the ground under my feet. Like, there will always be this abundance of food. I never quite question that. The point of all of this rambling that I have just done is to remind you that there is nothing outside of consciousness. There is nothing outside of your consciousness. And so when you talk about things like accidents, when you talk about things like, manifestations that you didn't mean to make happen, but they're happening over and over again, stop looking at them as accidents and start looking at it as, there's something about my programming that is recreating this over and over and over again. And so if it's good, capitalize on what's really working. What about your thoughts and feelings are helping to recreate these great situations over and over again? Optimize on those things. Feel those things to another degree, and that will allow you to grow those manifestations, and those manifestations will accelerate and become better to, the umpteenth degree. And the same thing with negative things. Don't look at things as though, this is just happening to me, but rather, what is it that I can learn from it? And find, what are those fears? What are those doubts that really stick out in those, negative manifestations? And go in and deliberately rewrite those things. I highly recommend that, on one side of a piece of paper, you write down, what are your fears? What are the limiting beliefs that you have? And then very specifically rewrite those things. And the more that you can focus on what the good is and what it is that you want to create, the more that you'll orient your compass in that direction, and you'll start to create more of that kind of thing. So without further ado, you guys, that was the main point of this stuff. Everything is just data. You're creating everything. And so there are no accidents. It's all part of the plan. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, this was a suggestion. And so I'm trying to create a lot more videos. And if you guys have anything you want to know about, anything that you kind of want my angle about, or you just want to really dive into a little bit more, let me know, and I'd be happy to make some content related to it. Subscribe to my channel, hit that little notification bell so you know when my videos come out, and I will see you guys soon.